I have over 300K in 0% business funding. I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. And that's not it. That stack right there is not it. I also have this folder here. But I'm going to show you what my personal profile looks like because you have to have a pretty decent personal profile in order to get approved for 300K in 0% business funding. But also, I'm going to show you exactly which banks that I have and how I got about getting this much in 0% funding. But what's going on? It's Colin Brown here from Business Credit Unlimited. And make sure you hit the like button, comment, and subscribe for more fun videos because guess what? They will continue to come your way. Now, let's dive back here before I even go into which banks, which you got to make sure you stay all the way into the end for that. I'm going to show you my personal credit report. Now, this is my personal credit cards. My highest limit is 25K. My total credit limits is 144K. And my oldest credit card is over 10 years old. But I'm going to do you one even better. I'm going to show. So I already recorded this previously, but the audio did not connect. So let's go right back in. So basically, what I was telling you guys was that you see I have an 833 personal credit score. However, it's not about the score, it's about the profile. And a lot of you guys have heard that before, but you really have to understand what that means because you may have heard that and you're like, yeah, I understand it's deeper than the credit score, but what does that mean as far as what you need on your profile and what does someone's profile that's actually obtained this amount of funding, what does it look like? Let's take a look. So I'm only going to go over some of the relevant data points here. And you see, this is my personal credit report from Experian. I did generate January's, I just picked like random month back because right now, if you guys seen my other video, which I'll go ahead and put in the description below, I talked about how my Discover card currently has a higher credit utilization on it, and I have to go ahead and pay that off this month, which you know how that is sometimes. Even though I had the cash to do it, I don't want to. But anyways, so I just pulled up an older report when my credit score was even more pristine than what it is now. It's back up to like 800, but either way, this was when it was at 833, just earlier this year. Now, open accounts 16. I would want to keep my open accounts at, well, you want open accounts at least over or 10 plus, but even like 5 will work. But if you only got like one, two, three open accounts, it's actually okay to go ahead and apply for some more credit and let it get on your reports in season. Because if you only got 3 accounts, even less than that, gosh, only like one, two accounts, even if they're personal credit cards and the limits are decent, then lenders could look at you like, the profile looks okay, but I don't know how they would handle other types of credit or other types of installment loans. So it is good to have a variety of credit on your profile by having numerous accounts, and you want to have more than just like again 5 or something like that. Even though you can get away with like a 5 to 7, it's going to be best if you own, I mean, if you have more than 10 plus. Now, average age of my accounts is 8 years. That just shows you I do not apply for personal credit that much at all, or at least I don't apply and get anything added on my personal credit often at all. Matter of fact, my last personal credit card was almost 3 years ago, if not 3 years ago. So I do not add personal cards and I don't add that much on my profile at all unless it's really needed. And I can afford to do so, especially since it's been some time, but I just tend to not do so. Oldest account, 16 years. That helps out a lot. When it comes to a bank seeing my profile, they'll say, okay, this guy has been managing credit for like 16 years. So it's good to keep your oldest account open. But sometimes, depending on what it is, guys, you can get rid of it, especially if it's only like 2 years difference. If you have one of those beginning cards, like a credit one or something like that, and they're charging you an annual fee, you're getting nothing for the card. It's okay to get rid of those. Just use discernment. Just don't get rid of your oldest account because even though it will stay on your profile for 10 years, you want your active accounts to also have age to as well, because your average account age here, 8 years, is not referring to closed accounts. Now, that's the only thing relevant here. Again, 144K, 4% utilization. And then American Express, this is a charge card, so that doesn't count towards my credit limits. You see Capital One here, two Capital Ones. Don't get a Capital One business credit card. I'm telling you, don't do it. It's going to report to your personal credit reports, and that's really eliminating one of the major reasons that you would even want a business credit card in the first place, because it doesn't report on the personal side. Now, this is another card that I would not get if I was starting over and building a perfect profile, because I don't have a perfect profile. I just have a profile good enough to get as much funding as I ever would need. But if I was building a perfect profile, I really wouldn't do this. Like, it doesn't really matter though, guys. It's a Best Buy card. I did this for furniture for our first house. It's not really a big deal, I promise. But you don't want to get that many store cards. The reason I thought about this too, just now, actually, at the time that I got this card, I didn't have any store cards. And I was like, you know what? I'll just add one more to show some variety, because I don't have any store cards on my report. So that handled that. I have a city card for 9,500, and this also helps you guys too. If you have, like, if you're in the stage where you're building your personal profile, you can see what cards I have, and maybe you can go for some yourself too as well. Student loans, because if you don't know, I do have an accounting degree, and I used to be an accountant before I was a business owner, if you didn't know. Now, this is a good personal credit card to get access to. This is the Discover Bank personal credit card, 18K. I got that back in 2018. Like, on that day, I got like 3 personal credit cards all back to back to back. This is FNBO. I'm not sure if they're still giving out the same limits that they were, to be honest, but when I got it, it was 11.9. So pretty decent limit. That was in 2021. And then Chase, I've had that since 2018, earlier 2018. So I've had them for a while too. That was 16.7. I think I could get a credit limit increase on that one if I really wanted to. And by the way, guys, look, the reason that I'm going through and showing you all this is that so you will know that I'm not just someone on here just talking about something that I've never done, or I'm just fabricating things. Like, you can see this is an official credit report. And for that, since a lot of these guys are not actually going through and showing their personal profile, or they don't really have to do it like this, but do something. Like, y'all just be talking about stuff that y'all have done, but we can never see any receipts or proof. But for that, let me make sure you hit the like button below, okay? Now, Kickoff, I would not do this either if I was building a personal profile, a perfect personal profile. I would not do Kickoff. So one thing to consider here is that these type of accounts, credit building accounts, they're not good for your profile. At 2022, I was already established. I only did this for testing for my clients and having a referral link for them when they were ready to do this, back when I did credit repair. And what's crazy is I was on the last, dang, at that time, 2022, I was already doing business funding. So yeah, I wouldn't do that again if I was going over. But this is Lightstream. I also did this as testing. A lot of times, guys, when it comes to accounts, I would literally get an account, a business credit card, a business checking account, or whatever it is, just to test to see how it is first before I start referring it to my clients. If I had more banks here in Alabama, I would have way more business credit cards, like different banks like Citizens and things like that. I can't personally get access to, but if I could, like, I would do even more of it, like, 'cause I don't know. I just like actually going through the fire first before I send somebody in there. So I at least know firsthand information for myself, or, I have very direct knowledge of that bank and different things like that, or I've had clients that have gone through it. So that's just an auto loan. Again, variety, you want to have that. Okay, so this is a Navy Federal personal credit card for 25K, and another one for 24K. I really think I could get a credit limit increase on this one too. On these two too. But again, guys, I don't really do anything with personal credit now that I've already built up. Telling you, if you've already built up your personal credit profile and you already have 75K plus in personal credit cards, there's no reason to just keep going up. If you get like 300K, like I have on the business side and 0%, if you do that for personal credit cards, it's going to be very hard for you to get access to business funding because lenders going to look at your profile and see that you have so much, especially if your utilization is like 1%. Oh, yeah, you're going to have a hard time, buddy. So stop while you're ahead. You're already good. Stop applying for credit, okay? You may be one of these people. If you're that person, like it's time to start using your credit, okay? That's the whole reason I do this, guys. Just click disclaimer here. I only get credit so that I can get cash. Okay. Don't I don't enjoy like getting credit just for the sake of getting credit. Okay. Outside of the standpoint of again from testing, but if you want to be a real boss, like you're gonna have to use your credit to actually get something from it. Okay, that's the whole reason that you're doing this thing, right? It's just like any other investment or any other tool that you use to actually grow and scale your company. So don't be one of these guys that's just getting personal credit cards. You just keep getting them, and business credit cards, you just keep getting them and keep getting them, and you're not spending on them, not taking any risk. Okay, you're gonna have to do that. And if you already know what you're doing, it's not as risky, right? You already know what you're doing, so you're using the money to just straight take it one-on-one to invest into whatever it is. So you're in real estate or in the service industry like me. But either way, like use your funding, use your personal credit cards. Don't just be someone that's accumulating credit just for the sake of accumulating credit. All right. Now, this is my last personal credit card, been 3 years. And I was going to say I probably won't get any more, but I won't say that because there is a caveat here. When you should get another personal credit card is if it serves you in any type of way, like if it provides cash back or points or something like that. So there's different scenarios where you would want to get a new personal credit card, but for the most part, nah, you don't really need to. Okay, and then my oldest card, like I said, I think that's pretty much all of the relevant information that I wanted to go over. I have some loans that I've paid off before, different things like that, and student loans that I've paid off. So just keep that in mind. Like you also want to have closed accounts that you've paid off that also looks really, really good. Not credit cards, keep those revolving, but different installment loans, excuse me, different installment loans that you've paid off, that looks really good on your profile too. You may think that all these different things that I'm saying is not as relevant, but I promise you, like when you're applying for funding, they are looking at these things. Even their algorithm is being trained now, the different banks, to be able to see these different things, and it will rate you higher based on that. So again, just having loans that you've paid off, an auto loan, a student loan, a personal loan, it actually helps. Don't just discount it as just it's just whatever. All these things matter. So it goes a lot deeper than just your score. And when people say your profile, you need to know what that actually means and what things look good and what things do not. Okay. Now we're gonna cut off to the part with with Colin that didn't even realize that the part of the audio did not record. And like I said, I listed off my personal credit cards and the limits so you can see what I'm working with and what the lenders see when they look at my profile when I apply for business funding. Um, we talked about that. Now, let's see how I match up to this is what I normally try to tell you guys, right? As far as what you need on the personal credit side. That's at least if you haven't seen one of my videos. If you're new here, hello, make sure you subscribe because I got more coming. Now, you see here, I have the 750 plus credit score. I had a utilization, credit history, highest credit limit, no negatives. Oh, that's another thing. You guys with negatives, sometimes you try to justify it, say, hey, the system shouldn't do this or that. Look, at the end of the day, I agree with you, but at the same time, when it comes to applying for funding, no one's going to care about hey, this happened in my life, or this, and this, you need to go ahead and get it done as far as removing any negatives off your credit reports. And don't be mad if you have something on there and it's causing you to not get approved for funding. Just try to deal with it, okay? I'm telling you the things that people don't want to tell you. All right, but anything that's on your report can literally be removed. It doesn't matter what it is. If you use the right system and method, you could definitely get it off. I would pay someone to do this for me if it was me, but hey, you could try to do it yourself too as well. And again, you guys, the whole reason I'm saying all this is so that you see exactly what my profile looks like, because this is how I got 300K plus in business funding. All right. And as far as your business, now let's talk more about the business side. Now, I've been in business for 7 years, meaning my LLC has actually been established, and I've been the primary and sole business owner or the owner of that business for 7+ years. And I have cash liquidity, right? Now, your business revenue, say if you're looking for 300K too as well, I would want to see you around 30K plus in monthly revenue. And for someone that's starting out, that sounds insane. Like 30K, what in the world? I have never even done 5K a month. Talking about 30K, that's 6 times more than what I've ever even done. I get it, but I'm telling you now, you can get up to 250K with no docs at all, even with a brand new business with no revenue. But it's not going to be as easy as if you have an established business and you are generating revenue. Don't let anyone tell you that. Like I talk about no doc funding, and I talk about, different opportunities that we have that banks that don't check for docs at all. And I do have a new kind of bank that I want to talk about here soon. But just saying, if you're already there, it's going to be even smoother for you. It's going to be a lot easier. Say if you work with me, it's going to be a lot easier for me to direct you at exactly which banks to go to and connect you with my business relationship managers. So established bank relationships with major banks is something that you obviously want to have too as well. Now, the big reveal. Here are the business credit cards that have offered 0% interest, introductory rate for my business. Let's start out. Bank number one is going to be Chase Bank. So I have 81K with Chase Bank on the 0% side, a 22K, a 23K, and a 36K card approval that I got. Okay. Because let me tell you a little secret here. You actually can get approved for more than one 0% business credit card. You can get 0% interest 3 times, but it is a select offer, because I've seen it go both ways. I thought it was for everybody at first, like back in the day. And then my relationship manager let me know, hey, sometimes a client will get it and then sometimes they won't. But American Express, 28K, that's with 12K and 16K. And those, I didn't put the actual cards on here. This is the American Express Blue Cash and the American Express Blue Plus card. And then the PNC is literally just called the PNC Business Credit Card. That one was 15K. Truist Bank, both of their 0% business credit cards, says 35K total, 25K and a 10K. US Bank, 41K, that's 16K, and then 25K on their 0% business credit cards. Wells Fargo Bank, I actually got that business credit card before they rebranded, but that's a 15K limit. And then Valley Bank, I have Valley Bank with 2 different businesses, so 25K total, a 15K and a 10K approval. Central Bank, that's a bank I don't talk about much, or banks that are underwritten by the same underwriter as a local bank, but that was 20K. Sometimes I'll talk about like local banks or smaller banks, and sometimes I won't, because a lot of you guys, you don't really need a lot of the smaller banks and credit unions to really run up your first 100K in funding or so. But I do have some. GM Marcus, 40K. I have a GM Marcus card with 2 different businesses. Right, is it down here? No, maybe one of the cards that's in the folder, but either way, I have that card with 2 different businesses, because a lot of the business credit cards you can get with more than one business. So Synovus, that's a bank, if you're not familiar with them, they offer a 0% business credit card for 9 months. and I got a 15K limit with them. Total, that's 315K at 0% interest. And again, disclaimer, I have other business credit cards like a Navy Federal for two different businesses, a Capital Tab Bill, American Express business charge cards, etc. So I have more than that just in my business credit cards, but these are the cards that offer a 0% interest rate. And what I'm going to do is in the description below, make sure you check out my top 25 0% business credit cards so you can see more details specifically about these business credit cards. If I went into all the details of every card, we'd be here an hour breaking down all these cards, but at least you see which banks that I go to so that you guys can formulate your strategy, your game plan similar to mine if we have similar stats, right? Now, the number one key to high limit funding is going to be banking relationships. So just to show you my banking relationships as well, on the personal side, Chase, Wells Fargo, Navy Federal. And then on the business side, Chase, Wells Fargo, PNC, BOA, Regions, Synovus Bank, Valley Bank, US Bank, American Express. So you see a lot of the banking relationships that I have, they match up with the cards that I have because I established a relationship with the bank first before I went in. And speaking of that, in order to leverage your personal profile relationships for 300K at 0%, one thing that I would do is go to bankbranchlocator.com and I would open a personal and checking business account for my business for the banks that has the best opportunity to give me high limit funding. And what is a strong relationships? Strong relationship, pretty much a personal business checking account, a merchant account, or other products that have been established with the bank that you want to go to for at least 1 to 3 months. Now, for a merchant account, deposits from business transactions are better than cash deposits, just to let you know, especially if transactional history is 6+ months, okay? You don't want any non-sufficient funds, meaning that you had an expense come out where it couldn't cover the amount of cash that you had in that checking account. 2K your account, something comes out for 3K, you minus 1,000, and you don't recoup that cash back in there within like 24 hours. But that's not a hard rule. I think that time differs on the bank and your relationship with the bank. And especially, I think if they see you have it in other accounts, they'll be more lenient for this. But you don't want that because it looks horrible. You can literally get denied with a perfect personal profile, a perfect relationship outside of that one blemish just because of that. So just keep that in mind. Now, low 5 or higher bank rating is preferred. So it is preferred to have at least 10K in your business checking account before applying. Do you have to have that to get approved? No. But the higher the amount of cash that you have in a business checking account, the higher the approval rate and the higher chances of you getting a higher limit. Let me tell you guys. Oh, another disclaimer that goes into what I was going to tell you guys anyways. I didn't get all this just in 30 days or anything like that. That's why I haven't mentioned a time period yet. This did come over time, you guys. So 300K, especially at 0%. For some of you guys, you could do this in 30 days. Some of you, it's going to be 6+ months. And some of you guys, it would take way longer. It really depends on what relationships you have built, what relationships you are willing to build, who you go to, what business relationship manager you use, or how you end up applying, and how strategic you are depending on which bank you go to and how many inquiries you got on your profile and your personal profile just in general, okay? Now, I would deposit at least a minimum amount of cash over that's required in that business checking account to make sure that you avoid fees. So you can create deposits from your business or have expenses come in and out into your checking accounts. You can apply for business funding after you've properly built the relationships with the correct banks. Now, that's what I did when it comes to business funding. That's what I did. Now, your specific story may be a little bit different, right? But How you apply, again, is also important. You can do it either online in branch or via business relationship manager. If I go in branch, I would definitely want to go with a banker that I've built a strong rapport with versus just going to somebody that I've never talked to before, because a lot of times they can provide some additional insight that you may not have gotten if you just went to someone that you've never talked to before. Online is hit or miss. It really depends on the bank, though. Some banks are just completely fine online, and then some banks you don't want to do online. It's better to have a relationship manager, go in branch, or even call in. It really depends on the bank. So that's it, guys. I peeled back the curtain. I showed you my personal profile. I showed you the banks that I went to for 0% at least. Like I said, for business lines of credit, that'd be a different video. For business loans, that would be a different video of all the banks that I went to for those. But peel back the peel back the curtain, showed you my personal credit report. I showed you what banks that I have business credit cards with. And now you can go out there and go get it yourself. You go get you a 300K so you can grow and scale your company too as well. So you can make more money, quit that 9 to 5, or you just have more profitability for your business. Now, if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to go out there, you don't have the time to deal with this, you don't want to try to figure out exactly what these banks are looking for. All you have to do is just hit the description box below, set up a call with me or my team. We will go over and create a free funding strategy for you on your call. So that way you will at least leave the call with something. It won't be, just dead time. It's going to be the best 30 to 45 minutes that you've spent on your business. Well, it could be a lot less than that too if you have less questions and things, but it's going to be the best time that you've spent on your business in a while, if ever. So go ahead and make sure that you do that. Again, hit the box below. That is pretty much it, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next one, see you guys. Peace. Also, if you want to see how to structure your personal profile to get 250K in business funding, make sure you click the video that's going to be right here on your screen.